With respect to the debt and debt that is denominated in foreign currency, South Africa, firstly, the government itself had been very prudent with respect to borrowing in currency other than its own. Actually, foreign currency denominated debt in South Africa is just around 10% of the total debt portfolio, and the South African corporates have not binged on foreign debt either. Part of it had to do with the fact that historically they had to try and take cover against FX movements and so forth. But the South African corporate sector, even if you look at it in domestic currency terms, it is not overly indebted.
The issue of debt remains something I think that international investors are concerned about as they look at the governance of the country and the risk of a further junk rating from the ratings agencies. How confident are you that South Africa can avoid that?
Well, firstly is that the credit rating of a country is not so much a problem of the rating agencies. It is within the control of the respective countries. And the issues that the rating agencies have raised with respect to South Africa are issues that the South African government is alive to. It's within our control to deal with those issues. All that you need is that the political leadership needs to go on and implement those things. But from where we're sitting as a central bank, what we look at is we ask ourselves the question: is a downgrade reflected in the current financial market prices? If it is reflected in current financial market prices, then a downgrade should not have such an adverse effect on the South African financial assets, because it's already priced in. But if it is not priced in, we are going to see an outflow of funds from the South African bond market. Part of it will be that if the downgrade takes place, we will fall out of some of the investment grade only indices. But that is also if we just take a static view. The point here is that if we are downgraded and we fall out of investment grade indices, we still would attract now sub-investment grade investors. The problem with those sub-investment grade investors is that they are speculative in nature, and they will just introduce volatility of capital flows for South Africa.
Should such an eventuality happen, though, would you see that as a personal blow to the effectiveness of the central bank and its policies, where they failed to stimulate more growth and more economic activity? You have been accused at times by your critics of being very slow when it comes to reducing rates and giving further momentum or energy to the economy.
Well, for starters, we do not think that the problems to the South African economic growth are cyclical. We have on so many occasions spelled out that there are fundamental structural problems in the South African economy. That is what is holding back on growth. And we are just pleased that eventually the National Treasury came up with a document that basically put those structural reform issues that the country has to deal with on the table, and at least now we are having an honest, civilized conversation about the trade-offs that must be made with respect to decisions on those structural reform. In as far as the central bank is concerned, it's not useful taking things personally. And I think that in any democratic society, there will be contestation about ideas. There will be contestations about the decisions that decision makers make from time to time. And the central bank will be no exception. It's not a South African phenomenon. We see it in both advanced economies and in emerging market economies. We believe that the monetary policy stance that we have taken as the Reserve Bank over a period of time has been the correct one, and we think that it has served South Africa well. And you asked about the rating agencies. One of the things that the rating agencies keep on raising when they talk about it is the credibility of the central bank and how well the central bank executes its mandate and is counting as one of South Africa's key policy strengths.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersetji, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.